Hello, I'm Dr. John Hancock, Executive Dean of McGovern Medical School. Tomorrow's medicines and treatments are based on today's research. McGovern has a strong cohort of discovery and translational science laboratories. However, evaluating a new treatment or medical device in a clinical trial is a critically important step toward improving clinical outcomes for our patients. Our new Vice President for Clinical and Outcomes Research, Dr. Dan Sessler, explains our renewed focus of translating scientific discoveries to patient care through clinical trials.
My role is to increase the amount and quality of clinical research that's done at the university. Clinical research is a key part of research. Basic science is important. It generates new ideas, new hypotheses, but basic science often doesn't translate into clinically actionable procedures and drugs and treatments. In fact, there's a very noticeable disconnect. Things that work in animals often don't work in people. The only way to know is to actually do the research, to do studies in people and see what works. One way that our university is special is that we're already doing translational research, that is taking basic science findings and bringing them into the clinic. This is an area where we can be especially effective because we have such good basic science, and now we just have to develop the clinical research side so that we can move basic science findings into the clinic, see what works, and how well it works, and then hopefully make these generalizable treatments. We need to provide the training for investigators, and fortunately we have that. Trey Miller and John Tyson have an outstanding training program, and there are other training programs within the university. We also need to provide support to help investigators take a rough idea, formulate a formal hypothesis, and then actually get the research done. The new Center for Outcomes Research, headed by Al Parsalanturin, is providing just that sort of support. So we're not content experts in clinical areas, but we very much are experts in research methodology. We know how to take an idea, turn it into a hypothesis, turn it into a formal protocol, and then get it done. Furthermore, the center provides considerable support for junior investigators, often even without funding. Will help anybody who comes by. Clinical research is a team sport. It's not something you can go do by yourself. In this respect, it's different from basic science, where a basic scientist and a technician can go off in the corner and they can do world-class research. It involves collaboration, and almost always collaboration across various departments. One of the key factors in clinical research is that it's really hard to get started. It's highly regulated. There are dozens of different steps that need to go through various levels of approval to get research done. So one of my goals is to make each step faster and to parallel process as many of these steps as possible. I'm working within the university, but we also are working with Memorial Hermann because they also have a series of approvals that are required for research. We need to get all of this done as quickly as possible so that when we're approached with a research request, we can process it quickly and actually get the work done.
Academic medicine is instrumental to improving the health and well-being of our nation. Through collaboration and focused research, we can make a real difference in health outcomes for generations to come. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Hancock's Headlines.